Reserve is attempting to do its part to curb inflation. The central bank's high interest rates have already helped. But with new fears of a worsening slowdown in the jobs market, there are expectations it could be cutting rates at a time where inflationary policies from the White House may be on the way too.
Our thanks to Brian Shum for that report.
Right, coming up, battening down the hatches.
We are continuing to track Hurricane Debbie as it makes landfall in Florida this morning. The latest on the ground as officials brace for what is next.
Who are the guys in the suits? Middleman, your insurance company, and their PBS.
Let's talk a little bit more.
So they decide what I pay?
More Americans turn to NBC News than any other news organization.
What's the message that you're trying to get out to young people?
No, what is in that press pie?
We got important news this hour about your money, rental hour. Big picture, why is it so tough right now?
News for the generation.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Contracting Chatter. I'm your host, Luciana Turner. Let everybody know that we're live. Grab your business bestie, the contractor's notebook. We have a little bit, some things to talk about this morning.
This storm made landfall.
We understand there's a hurricane coming through Florida, making its way up the eastern seaboard. And I posted a video. I did a live early. Good morning, Kiki. I did a live earlier, and it's posted on my business page where I talked about disaster projects and how to get a disaster contract. We are in hurricane season. And one of the ways to get disaster contracts is basically bid early, get on the short list, and make sure that you're ready and capable of mobilizing at a moment's notice. And that is the thing that everybody needs to be aware of. You will not receive elongated notice when it comes time to performing on most of those contracts. You need to be ready to go at a moment's notice. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Contracting Chatter, where we discuss all things government contracting and all things business. I talked about or brought up disaster recovery contracts because the last news item that was on before I cut off the news was the hurricane coming through Florida. And it was an interesting piece, and it made me think about a question that was asked in a live that I hosted. And it was a brief live, and it only talked about disaster contracts, but there's an overarching theme. People want what is thought about as the quick, easy money. And a lot of people think I can qualify for these quick contracts, or what they believe are quick contracts, and make easy money. But they give no thought to their ability to mobilize quickly. They want these $1 million contracts, and it takes them 30, 60 days to get mobilized. You're not preparing for what you want. My mentor, he's also a pastor, but he's also a business coach. And he preached a sermon about not preparing for what you're praying for. And it applies to this. People are praying for, hoping for, wanting these multi-million-dollar government contracts, but you're not preparing for it. Do you have your bid rates? Do you have your standard responses? Do you have your resumes ready? Have you submitted to and put your company's name on the pre-qualified list? Have you done any of these things? And if the answer is no, you're not preparing for what you're wanting or praying for. For those of you who are believers, God is not Mandrake the magician. He gives you what he wants you to have, but he will not give you what you're not prepared for. Because the Bible never said that. Let's talk about that. And let that sit there for a minute. Hold that thought. And for those of you who believe in manifestation, you can manifest what you prepare for. Once again, even those who prepare and believe in manifestation, which is nothing but an extension of praying and fasting, I come up with all these fancy terms to keep from acknowledging the Creator. However, but in order to manifest something, you still need to prepare for it. You can't skip steps in the process. You still need to prepare for what you're manifesting. You're trying to manifest $1 million business and you don't have not one thing. It doesn't make sense. I'm manifesting $1 million business with no accounting system, without the means or the preparation for instituting as my corporate coach calls it, a bench or a support system. It doesn't make sense. You can't skip steps in the process. You have to have something in place or something that you can implement instantaneously that you can use to scale and grow once you receive what you're trying to go for. You need something to activate once you receive what you're going for. Does that make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, you need to come into the room instead of watching from outside the room. I need you to know that there's more to this thing than just hoping and praying and wishing. There's a lot more to this thing. And as we continue this journey, especially if you stay in my community, you're going to appreciate not skipping steps. Now, we understand there's something called quantum leaps. And especially if you're a believer, God can do anything. He can do the exceedingly and abundantly. And he does it through accelerating you through the steps. And we all understand that. We all understand the essence of faith. We understand that. So don't say, Luciana is saying, no, that's not what she's saying. Understand what I'm saying. Keep walking with me. That's why y'all need to be in my Believers in Business event. So you know what I'm saying when it comes to applying faith to business. Because a lot of people are misapplying faith to business, but that's another conversation for another day. This morning, what we're talking about is disaster preparedness and just really getting into government contracts the right way. We have to get into government contracting the right way. I am having a contracting challenge that will start October 1st. The registration will go up sometime today. There's a 30-day version and a 90-day version. It depends on your level of commitment. The challenge is not free because the way I worked it out is not free. It's for those who are serious about activating in government contracting. Now, one of my current mentees is in the chat, and she will tell you it's work. The challenge will include, for those of you who don't understand, how to map your capabilities to your NACE code. What we're going to do is take your resume and map it to your NACE codes. Because a lot of people fall short with that. It's like they go, well, I believe my NACE codes are this, but you don't take the next step and map your resume to your NACE codes. We're going to end the 30 days with your contracting plan. Because a lot of you are just randomly picking contracts, bidding on it, and hoping something sticks. And that is not how you do government contracting. Government contracting is a strategy and a plan. That's how you do government contracting. We're developing rates. Now, if you do the 90-day version, you're really going to be looking at me like you're crazy, but you're going to come out with a tight and right business. Period. In the discussion. You're going to have a business that is so tight, it's so right. You're going to you're going to have a revolutionized business. And somebody's going to say, but that's not what I want to do. Honey, everybody, even I, reevaluate my business. You should do it at minimum once a year. At a minimum of once a year, you should reevaluate your business. So if you do nothing else through the challenge but reevaluate your business, job done. However, at the end of the challenge, the goal is to position you so that you bid on 2 contracts. And if you do the 90-day version of it, 3. If you're bidding on the federal level, I would love to know that you've won a contract. We're going there because I'm trying to accelerate my community and we're trying to condense this thing. So let's accelerate. I'm here to take my 20-some years experience in government contracting. I'm here to take my 20-some years as a compliance officer in government contracting, which means compliance means I've worked the audits. I understand what the auditor is looking for. So when I consult, when I coach you, when I instruct you, when I am showing you, I'm showing you from the perspective of what the auditor is looking for. So I am reducing your risk from the audit perspective so you can retain what you've earned. That's 1. And 2, when you position and when you play to the government, you're coming in as a power partner. That's 2. It is cheaper to do it right in the first place than getting it right in the end when somebody has found a fault. Let me tell you, course correcting in the end is hard. It is hard. That is what the contractor challenge is for. Contractor challenge is to say, hey, let's get this thing done and let's get it done right. For those of you who are saying, I want to do the challenge, but do I need to be registered in SAMS? Look, when the challenge starts, you'll be registered in SAMS. I'm going to send you out a video to walk you through the SAMS registration. So when we start, you'll be registered in SAMS. We're not leaving anybody behind. We're not leaving anybody behind. Okay? So let's get this together. Let's get the working. Because the government is missing you. Now, I did a contractors roundtable around government certification. For anybody who missed that, that's okay. Once I'm finished with the edits and the updates to the contractors handbook that I did as an accompaniment, I'm loading the roundtable and the handbooks to the training center. So you'll be able to go over to the training center, watch the roundtable, and download the handbook. Now, I'm telling you, the roundtables are complimentary when I host them live. When they go into the training center, I'm adding some details and I'm updating the handbook so they go behind a paywall. Paywalls are not expensive. And right now they're like $9.99, and that's because I've changed the handout to a workbook. That's all. So you're basically paying for the workbook. I will announce when that is ready. It should be ready tomorrow. We'll see. I have a client appointment this afternoon, and I lead a women's group tonight. So the goal is to have it live tomorrow. But this is getting ready time. This is the time to act. I was looking at my email, going through my email, and I was looking at all the things that I have in get ready mode. And I was saying, wow, if I would just act on all of this stuff, I would be so much further ahead. So guess what? I'm in activation season. And I'm telling you, and I'm taking with me those who are ready to activate. Are you ready to activate? And those who are ready to activate with me. Walk with me. No, matter of fact, we're not walking in this season. We're running in this season. We're halfway through the government's fourth quarter, and there's a whole lot going on. For those of you who can see, you see it. And for those of you who can't see, just hop in the car with those of us who can. It is time to activate. It is time. Freebie University only gets you so far. It is time to invest to grow. And let me tell you, I'm purchasing my next investment to grow my business. Who's activating with me? It's just that simple. It's activate season. It's time to take action at the level that you can activate at. Nobody is telling you to take out a mortgage. No. I don't believe in being reckless with what you don't have. But I do believe in fully activating at the level that you can activate at. So join my community. Get on my email list. Subscribe so that you can be involved in my subscriber-only lives and my subscriber-only Q&As. I've seen people waste money on gossip lives on TikTok, Clubhouse, and everywhere else. Invest that same energy in your business to grow your business. Same. That's all it is. With that said, we are a few weeks away from the DNC. This is August 5th. I believe the Democratic National Convention is in 2 weeks. It's August 19th through the 24th in Chicago. I don't teach half truths about government contracting. I've been a government contractor for 24 years. The people teaching half truths are people who've never done government contracting. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, you will see all of my credentials. You will actually see people who have worked with me, verify and vouch for me. The people teaching half truths are people who have never worked in the industry. And if you listen to them, you will see that they don't know what they're talking about. And that's the problem. People pay attention and listen to people saying negative stuff. People always, and I'm going to just go here. People who make comments like that are people who are doing nothing themselves. So they have to discourage other people so that they have company. That's one. Two, if you listen to them, you can tell they don't have experience. And that's just a fact. You can listen to some of these people spouting half truths and can tell they don't know what they're talking about. It's just, it is what it is. I go on these lives and for 2 seconds and can tell they don't know what they're talking about. But either way, back to what I was talking about. The Democratic National Convention starts August 19th. I'm covering the DNC just like I covered the RNC from a business perspective. And we're just talking about what they're saying their platform is. I have not seen VP Harris release an official platform. I haven't seen it. If anybody has seen it, if you can forward it to me, fine. I'm not talking about her speeches. I'm talking about a written platform. So I'm logging into the DNC just to see what her official platform is. I'm not going by assumptions. I'm talking about the official platform. Okay, I haven't seen anything from her either. She hasn't even picked her vice president yet, so maybe she's going to release it after that. We'll know, hopefully, after the DNC. But I'm covering the DNC just like I covered the RNC. So the chatter that week will cover RNC from a business perspective. What are they saying their platform is? I've been listening to economists talk about what they believe the outcome of each candidate's stated position effect on the economy is going to be. Now, they do believe that Agenda 47's position on tariffs on China's incoming tariff is going to affect inflation. That's only if people continue to buy foreign goods. Now, under the Reagan administration, I saw Reagan do the same thing. I remember Reagan doing the same thing. He put a tariff on cars that was imported so that American auto manufacturers could regain the footing in the car industry. He did the same thing, and it worked in the automotive industry during that time in the 80s when Reagan was president. And people thought it was a bad thing when he did it. So we'll see. However, we'll just see how it all pans out. So with that said, I'm inviting you back tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another installment of Contracting Chatter, where we'll discuss some highlights from my contractors roundtable, where we're talking about certifications. As we know, the SBA's certification system is down. We will talk about what the new certification system will look like once it goes live. And I believe it's due to be back up this week. I believe they said it was coming back up this week. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the SBA certification system going back live and what it's going to look like. Anybody who's followed me any time knows there's only one certification I feel that every government contractor should go after. But no matter what certification you get or obtain, you need to have a plan to underpin it. Because the certification doesn't guarantee you anything. It's the plan that goes along with it. So with that, the Contractors Roundtable for September, which is September 3rd, is on record keeping in government contracting. You have to keep proper records to pass any audit, to sustain any costs, because if you do not, if you do not sustain these costs, then the auditor if you do not sustain the cost, then you will have to refund the government. So for those watching on any of the other platforms other than TikTok, scan the QR code. TikTok, later today, I will have a post up where you can register. I'm using a different platform to register and stream. We had some glitches the last time, but that was a technology glitch. It was a technology glitch the last time. So this time, we're going to get it together. So Contractors Roundtable for next month is on record keeping, September 3rd. You want to scan the QR code. Everywhere else, TikTok, just look for the pin post in order to register for the class. And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. We're talking about I'm sharing highlights from the roundtable, this month's roundtable, and the SBA's update on the certification system and what the new portal will do for you. And it's supposed to go live, I believe this week is what the SBA's goal is, to have the new certification portal up this week. Who knows? You know how the government is. So I'll see you 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning for another edition of Contracting Chatter. Keep this in mind. A stressed mind can't create. And there comes a time when everybody has to ask for help. The strongest thing you will ever do is say, I need help. That is the strongest thing you will ever do. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have an amazing day.